Hickok 45 here. Welcome to the Hickok 45 Talks channel. I was looking through my list of suggestions people asked me to talk about. Someone had a long list of things. He said, "Let's talk about gold, silver bullion, the Bible, cars, economy, etc." A long list of things. Oh, yeah, well, I'll let other people argue about religion and even about the economy, I guess. The economy is a complex thing, and I know enough about it to know it's very, very complex. I'm mostly concerned about my own economy, which I hope you are too, and saving your money and investing and being smart about your own private economy. That's the one that matters the most because the national economy is going to just change over time, just like the climate and everything else. It's just and even monetary policy and presidents and Congress, they don't have as much effect on that as they like to think they do, or we would like to think they do, and we blame it on them. But it's like a giant barge that's just slow to change, and when it does, it's slow to head off, and all those kinds of. Of course, we manipulate it now with interest rates and all that kind of thing. So anyway, it's a big bubble, I guess. But now I'm not an expert on that. I try to be an expert on my own personal economy. That's the one you want to focus on. But speaking of that, gold, silver, I'm not an expert there either. I know a little bit about. I know enough about advertising psychology. We all see those ads online and TV and everywhere about how you should be buying gold and silver and whatever else like that because it's going to skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket. I know it's not. It might temporarily, but it's not. It just keeps up with inflation. That's what it does. Mainly, it's like buying a piece of real estate. It's just that since the visibility on the price changes and all that, plus it's a cool looking thing, gold, silver. It's attractive from that standpoint, and it's real money and all that. Very liquid. So it offers an opportunity for people to use it as clickbait, to write books and act like they're experts. And oh man, if you went on your phone right now and just searched gold bullion or whatever and started looking for videos on that, about 90% of them are going to be what title? Gold 10,000. Will silver reach 5,000 this year? It's just So that tells you all you need to know. It's basically just like real estate. It's just very similar. It's very reliable. It is valuable. It's very solid, and it's like if I went across the road, if my neighbor had 10 acres for sale, and I bought those 10 acres. It's kind of what that's like. It's a very secure investment that no one's making any more real estate. And pretty much the same for gold and silver. It 10 years it'll be whatever, maybe double the price. I don't know, depending on how much it depends on how bad the economy is. The value of a gold coin, ounce of gold or silver, doesn't really change. The value doesn't change over 10 years by and large. It's the dollar that becomes worth less, right? The dollar is worth less in comparison. So, as people have said, what a $20 gold piece 150 years ago, would buy a decent horse, and that's kind of the case today. There's not exactly, but it's kind of the same thing. Just, the metal, just like a 20 cents worth of silver when I was in college. Well, first in college, it was about 20 cents in silver, 2 dimes, real dimes, silver dimes would buy a gallon of gas. Well, it'd probably buy a gallon of gas today too. God, what's a silver dime worth? About $2. Yeah, and then two of them be $4. So the value just doesn't change. Just the fake money that changes. You still get a gallon of gas, buy a horse, the same money. A Colt, a Colt pistol would be a good example too, wouldn't it? Because around the 1870s, I think a Colt single action costs around $20, 19, so about $20 gold piece. So what's a $20 gold piece now is worth around close to 3,000. Recently it was like 2,500, but so you go buy a new Colt. about the same, maybe not quite that high. Anyway, I ain't an expert in any of that, but I talked about it anyway. Cars? What do you want to know about cars? I don't know. Cars, I guess, as relates to the economy, that is that is a huge drain on our net worth, isn't it? Yeah. Just being aware of it, though, is half the battle. And Dave Ramsey and others point out all the time, one reason so many people stay poor is they put too much money in things that depreciate. Cars, especially, and actually finance them, and you're paying all this money for them. Not even paying it up front. You finance it. You're paying the interest. You're paying off for years. Meanwhile, the car is going down. It's one of the very worst investments, especially buying them that way. But either way, they depreciate in value. I run the numbers on that. I know what it's costing me to drive a big Yukon. I know exactly what it costs me, and I save that amount every month. And so that when I'm ready to trade, buy another one, whatever, in 3-4 years, whatever it might be, I have that in my car account, and it's significant. I've done the numbers. I know exactly how much it depreciates. And it's if you dwell on it, it can almost be depressing, right? But not. It's one of my, other than firearms, but they don't really depreciate much. The car is my guilty pleasure, I guess. The one thing that I know is going down in value. You got to have it. I want a pretty nice one. I do a fair amount of driving, 30,000 at least every year. Just got back off a 6,000-mile trip out west, and so that is one of my guilty pleasures, as long as I can afford it. And so I know what it costs, and it's a lot. And I put that away each month. So at any point, if it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, 5, I decide, I think I'm going to trade that. I'm going to get the same one, whatever, a new one. It's just write a check. Now, granted, I've been very fortunate I can do that, but anyway, it's a great way to try to get on the right side of that, so you're not having to. I tell you, that's a sign that you have kind of got your personal economy turned around. I think is when you can quit financing cars. You're actually doing it the old way. You're saving up to buy a car, and then you pay for it, and you're saving to buy another one. And so when it's time you need another one, or repairs or whatever, both, then it's just write the check. That's a sign that you've got your money in order. Yeah, it really is, and it's hard to do. So yeah, I told you I don't know about any of these topics, but I'll talk about them. Yeah, it's never stopped me, has it? I have opinions on a lot of things, even if I don't know everything about them. As I said before, that's a dangerous thing sometimes, because people who know the least about a topic often have the strongest opinions. And I don't like to be that guy. I don't want to be that person. But I do. I know enough to have an opinion, and it's fairly educated opinion, I guess, but I still don't know everything. I know that surprises you when I tell you that. I don't know everything. That's all I got to say about that. Life is good.